And welcome back to Cigar Time, your friendly neighborhood TV show all about premium cigars.
Yes, it is.
So I got that right because we started at 5, the countdown.
Exactly. Exactly my point.
I'm glad that worked out for you.
This cigar is dark. Holy cow.
Yeah. Welcome back. Thanks for watching again.
Again.
Welcome back. Beautiful.
Happy post 4th of July.
Yep. Absolutely.
Were we open yesterday?
Yes, we're always
Hopefully
open.
none of you
The
blew
only
your
days we
fingers
close
off
are
playing with
Thanksgiving and
firecrackers.
Christmas.
And 1 year in Easter, and I got in trouble.
You closed during Easter 1 year?
That's shocking.
I thought the only reason we ever stayed open for Easter is because Kenny worked. Ken Burns. And it's because he doesn't celebrate Easter. And then so I'm like, all right, well, he's not working, so all right, we're not open. And I was out in Pittsburgh, so there's nothing I can do.
That's a shame.
So yeah, Thanksgiving and actually
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I actually have been open on Thanksgiving. It's like an employee just like, I got to get away from my family. Can you please open? Can you please open the store? I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Pretty please.
I don't care. Kenny.
Was it Kenny?
Kenny Bora. Yeah.
Oh, Kenny Bora.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we are smoking the Perdomo Bourbon-Barrel Aged Habano Bourbon-Barrel Aged Maduro. This is one of my favorite cigars. I probably smoked 3 or 4 of these cigars a week. So, you know, I'm going to have a good rating on this cigar. So, I don't know the blend on this cigar.
I'm about to tell you.
I think it's a Connecticut broadleaf with Nicaraguan filler and binder.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know about the Connecticut broadleaf.
This
Yeah,
is
I don't
really
think so.
dark.
It's kind of toothy and it's rough, so I don't think it's San Andres.
No, it is not. 90% sure.
More technical difficulties?
No.
No, not really.
I'm going to light mine.
Okay. Me too.
It's all Nicaraguan. It's a Puro. And
Really?
the
Oh, it's a
wrapper is
Nicaraguan Maduro. Okay.
So chances are all of the tobacco in this was grown by Nick.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's just
Chances are, since you
I'm
were
guessing
so
that based on the texture, the wrapper and everything, that might be a high priming Nicaraguan.
Oh, it has to be a high priming.
I wonder if
it's-
it's Lajero.
It's not that high, but it's thick. It's a little bit toothy. It's oily, but it's got a matte finish.
It's delicious.
You get the Maduro sweetness
Get the verse
before
right.
you even
Yep.
light it.
Absolutely. Right off the bat.
That's got a really sweet aroma. It almost smells like, and it's not as harsh or bad as paper burning. Like I hate when people burn the
band?
the cigar band. I hate that, but it's like a modified version of that.
Yeah. All right, first impressions. No, I'm just kidding.
Definitely sweet.
Yeah.
How much does this cost? I have no idea.
It's like 8 something.
So it's a good
8,
deal.
25.
Everything for Perdomo.
$8.50.
We had a trip back in February where we went to Nicaragua with Perdomo, and I think we took 4 or 5 customers from up here and 5 or 6 from Florida. And one of the comments was after seeing, I think Nick said there's 3,050 steps. You know, and they always say there's 300 hands touch the tobacco. And, But what I'm getting at is the overwhelming thought was like, how is he only charging $8.50 for a cigar?
I know.
When they see all of the stuff that goes into it, they were just fascinated that he could sell it for that little.
Yeah. His prices are better than just about everybody's.
When we had the S-chip price increase, he dropped
He
his
didn't.
prices.
He didn't charge.
He didn't charge for that. He still doesn't.
No, he
Lowered.
lowered the prices. I
Yeah.
remember this. I thought he didn't change the prices; he kept them the same. But he in fact lowered the prices.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is. He was telling me a lot of it is was ingrained in his mind from his father. You know, he's like, sell a good product, but sell a lot of it. You don't have to make a lot per cigar. Just sell a whole crap load of
Yeah,
it.
and that's
it's
what he does.
Yeah.
That's good.
Slow nickels are better than quick dimes. Somebody said that.
You.
Well, somebody important said that.
Oh,
You.
No.
important.
I haven't had one of these since almost when they first came out.
Really?
And I liked it back then, but I forgot how much.
Yeah.
I'm getting a cross between it made me, the last puff made me think immediately of coffee and also a little bit of licorice. Like dark roast coffee. And the smell of the beans as opposed to the flavor of the coffee is what I'm thinking.
Roast coffee bean.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting a roasted coffee.
But not that Indonesian civet coffee.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. I don't drink coffee.
Oh, you don't drink coffee. You don't know about the Indonesian
Is that
civet
the one
coffee?
that
Yeah, I
they
do. I
chase
just
the
wanted
animal
to-
around and wait for him to crop it out?
Yeah.
Oh, that.
That's the ones where the civets eat the coffee, but they don't digest it, and they poop it out, and they wash it, and they roast it, and they charge $300 a pound for it.
Oh my God.
I get it.
And people buy it.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's a market for everything.
That's true.
Kate proved that.
Who?
Kate.
Kate who?
Used to work there.
Oh, yes. Kate
There's a
did prove
market
that.
for
There's a
everything.
market for everything.
There's also a trade organization for everything.
Well,
Everything.
if there's more than one person involved in anything, they'll make a trade organization just so they have
there's
one.
a trade organization for paper clips, and they probably have their own magazine.
Paperclip Monthly.
Right.
I'm getting a. I'm
The
getting a.
PCM.
I'm getting a wine. A hint of wine, on this. I don't know if anyone else is or not. It's a red wine. It's not a white wine.
A little bit of
I get
civet.
it on the finish, not
Yes.
not on the smoke itself.
Right. Exactly.
And the most exciting part of the cigar is when I get to take the wrapper off, the wrapper of the cigar off at the end.
He's good.
And you'll see the blue line.
We'll see.
Blue line.
We'll
Well,
see.
yeah. Let's see it now.
No. He's gonna smoke the cigar, man.
Every
all
single
right,
one
so
will have
use
a
the
blue
other
line
ci-
on it.
use the
Well,
other cigar.
A line, maybe a different. Yeah. That was funny.
That was. I'm sad that we're only smoking a Robusto instead of the Epic here.
That's Paul's fault.
That's all right.
It's my fault.
I'm
That's
getting a little
all right.
spice in the retrohale through the olfactory.
Also, on the
I have
all the
plenty
way
of
on
these
the
in my
back of
humidor
my
anyway.
palate, I get some spice, and that's not usually a spicy spot.
I'm getting tingling all across the whole front
I'm getting
front
like
third
a
of my
cinnamon.
tongue.
Oh, yeah?
Cinnamon?
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
It's the
A hot
spi-
cinnamon?
Yeah, that's the spice I'm catching across my tongue.
Really?
Yeah.
A hot cinnamon?
Yeah.
I can see that, yeah. Yeah, you know what? You're right, because it's not. Whenever I think of spice, I'm immediately going to black, white, or cayenne pepper, but
Yeah. No,
There's
it's
more.
The spicy cinnamon.
All right, Moose, let's see your first impressions then. You got the spicy cinnamon. What
Spicy
else?
cinnamon. I get the sweetness. So far, it's burning nice. It's well constructed. It's the ash is holding up. So far, so good.
Okay. Nick makes great cigars. Their construction and their all that is just
Construction
impeccable.
and consistency
Is
great.
impeccable.
yeah.
Great.
And you know what else? And I think this is one of the reasons we like supporting them so much. Is like, I mean, we know the whole family.
Yeah. I was just
I
talking
don't
to
know,
Nick Jr. today.
Yeah, I mean, they're great people. I don't know Natalie that well, but I mean, I spent a bunch of days with Nick in Nicaragua. Nick Jr.'s great. Just had a baby in February or March.
Yep.
Janine is phenomenal. And
Yes,
it's
she
just
is.
It's just, and he's a real class act in
Yes.
the industry, and people like supporting that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I
And they're
certainly do.
personable too. They remember you. I mean,
100%.
they've met
Hundreds
of people, thousands of people, and they still remember you.
Hundreds of thousands, Bob. Tens of thousands. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, Nick says he's got an identity.
Eidetic memory, does he?
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Eidetic.
That's what I said.
And it's with people. He remembers He said he
Yeah.
remembers everybody's name.
Wow, that's crazy.
Well, that's a lot better than my eidetic memory for theme songs from cartoons from 50 years ago.
Exactly.
Right.
Mary Lou Henner has a eidetic memory.
For everything.
She can
For
do the
everything.
dates, can't she?
She can do
You can
dates
say,
of things she's done. Every script that she has ever done, every movie, every TV show, she remembers the script.
well, she's in Mensa, I think.
Yeah,
she
she's
was
very
on
smart.
on HS. I don't want to promote them. And I think
Hollywood
I think-
Squares?
Yes, and I think she was able to like say, okay, the June 3rd, 1984, and she could tell you like the day of the week.
Yeah. I used to be able to do that, but now that I'm this old, there's a lot
it a
more.
math
There's a
thing?
lot more to remember.
Is it a math thing or?
I don't know.
I think in her case it was just a memory thing. It wasn't a formula that she followed. She just knew.
That's amazing. I can do it like in a month, like for about a
No,
month.
There are things if I go back and try to remember something, I will remember the dates. I'll remember the weather too.
You were good
There
at
was
history then.
I am very good at history. So, yeah.
So am I.
And I'm lucky if I know what day it is today.
Well, that's different. You talked to something about 20 years ago. I got it down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll remember what I was doing. I'll remember all kinds of stuff like that. So, but it's not as good as Mary Lou Henner though, or
You're
Nick
not as good
Perdomo.
looking either,
Yeah, that's true too.
as either of them.
I have a question. We
Yes.
talk about the flavor of cigars and the retrohale all the time. Have we ever explained to anybody what retrohale is on the show?
Yeah.
Lately?
Not lately. Go ahead.
No, you can do it.
No, you can do it.
It's where you blow the smoke through your nose. Done.
Well, okay.
Next.
No wonder I've been doing it wrong. I'm blowing that the wrong way.
Your taste buds, there's 5 senses in your taste buds, but through your olfactories, there are 10 separate olfactory senses that give you taste.
Yes.
So if you take in the smoke, you still don't inhale it, but you take
Right.
in the smoke, you keep your mouth closed and blow it out through your nose, you get a whole different array of flavors and much more intense flavors.
And I looked at that when I got fascinated by it about a year ago, and I realized, people say, how do you know what bark tastes like when we give, or how do you know what balsa wood tastes like? And it's like, yeah, but we know what it smells like. And
That's what it reminds you of.
if you look at the description in any publication about cigars and the tasting notes, probably 75% of it is based on a smell or your olfactory. The descriptions of the olfactory versus the sweet, the savory.
I want to go beyond smell. Olfactory senses is more than just smell. It's something in between taste and smell. It encompasses some of both.
Yeah.
Because you can sense things in a cigar that are not what they smell like. They're what they taste like in your nose.
Yeah, I mean, and if you want to, when you were young, you used to hold your nose when you took cough syrup, so you didn't taste it as much. And there's a reason for that.
It works.
Yeah, and you can't
So
really taste you can't taste a cigar as well if you're stuffed up or sick.
So you should always have breathe right strips handy when you're
Yeah,
smoking
yeah,
a
yeah,
cigar. Because if you want to really get a retrohale, you put the strip on first.
Yeah. And I always
Or
thank
not.
Christian for that, because he taught us how to do that.
We were together
Yeah.
on that trip. Yep.
Yeah, in Honduras. He brought us over to a stack or a mound of tobacco, and he said, breathe in, and you could breathe in, and you can get sort of tasting stuff, but most of it was ammonia anyway, because it was still
Still for me.
fermenting. But then he said, okay, now just breathe in through your nose, and it was like a light bulb went off in my head, and it's just like, oh my God, you got so much more of it.
That to me
It's
is the
crazy.
best aroma in the world
Ah,
of
it's-
fermenting tobacco.
It was really
up there.
cool.
Smells like money.
It was a real eye-awakening thing for me, man. And ever since then, you start picking up things, and you do yourself a disservice not trying to do it retrohale, because you get so much more out of the cigar.
It's tough to just try. You actually have to be.
You have to ease your way
taught
into it.
in a
Yeah,
way-
you
in
have
a
to
way.
ease your way
You
into it.
got to
still-
practice a little bit.
Well, and yes, you're right. And I still remember how Christian taught us to do it, and it was
Yeah.
the same process we tried to teach Moose on the show how to do it. It was where you actually swallow you don't actually swallow the smoke, but you swallow and then you exhale through your nose, and it worked for me. And I remember how excited we were when
Yeah.
we were like,
Yeah.
"Wah!"
It's like it opened up a whole new world of taste.
20 years ago.
It was. Yeah.
And just think,
No, it wasn't 20.
when you
19
can
or 20.
sense
It was
things
8, yeah.
with your ears
Yeah,
instead of just your nose.
Well, yeah, you can hear the.
You can
But
hear
yeah,
the
it opened
cigar.
up a whole new world of
say that
taste
tobacco
through the
talks to you, so-
cigar, and it's just
Talks to
makes
me.
it so much better. So when you pay $10 for a cigar, and you don't retrohale, you're
You're
not.
only tasting a third of it.
Yeah, you're only tasting $4
third.
worth. You're only enjoying $4 worth, not the 10.
Yeah.
So-
And and one of the things I sensed most when I first lit this was I breathed in at the right time, and the aroma from the smoke was fantastic.
Yeah.
There's this great hint of barnyard in here also, along with all of
Yeah.
the other flavors. It's got a really good barnyard.
There's a great example of like,
The
what's
smoke just went up my nose. It went the wrong way.
a barnyard taste like, and you're no, it's the aroma.
Of a
Well, if
barnyard,
it
yeah.
smells like,
If
and
you
that'd
go
be part
into
of
a
it.
But
barn,
you don't want to say it tastes like a barnyard.
no,
Correct.
it,
But that was just not. There's just too many things conjured up, and you just don't want to say that.
And from I mean,
Through the retrohale, it smells like a barnyard.
I love getting into this kind of stuff with cigars and trying to figure it out, identify it. But that's not important to everybody. Some people just like, it's a good cigar. It's all I care about. Okay.
Okay.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No.
this is a cigar that begs for another process that people mention often, and a lot of people don't know what it is, why it works, or how to do it. And that's purging the cigar.
No, I didn't know that either. So
So-
you guys mentioned it last week.
We mentioned it
2
last
weeks
week.
Yeah, you did.
Was
Did
You
we
didn't
explain it?
discuss it.
Well,
No,
okay.
you didn't discuss it.
This is-
You just mentioned
This
it.
is our second show.
So typically when you're smoking an oily cigar, but it can be pretty much any cigar, but especially oily ones, they start to build up some tar at the head, the part that you're putting in your mouth. And what that does is it can impart some bad flavors, but it also flattens out the flavor altogether. So you get less and less as that happens. But there are ways to get rid of it, and
Crap.
purging the cigar is the way. And here's how you purge a cigar. You knock off whatever ash is there. You light it,
Pardon me.
Bless
but you don't draw on the cigar. You blow on the cigar into the flame.
So, what does the flame do?
I'll tell you in a second. What the flame does is you're pushing the bad stuff to the front of the cigar. If you have the flame there, you're burning it off, and then you don't taste it at all.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you do it without the lighter, you're just moving the tar to the front of the cigar, and
And
you're
it is
still
lighter.
burning it and tasting it.
I do that instinctually all the time. A lot of times when
You know what?
I blow it out before I bring
At the
it
end
do
of
that
the
all
blow
the
it in.
time, and I never knew.
No. Like right now, when I put my cigar in my mouth, I blow out.
Blow out.
And then I start puffing on the cigar.
I do
I do it all the time.
I do the same thing, and I always wondered, is the cigar getting too hot when I do that? I think I do it just to make sure it's
It
lit.
doesn't make it hotter because the air is coming from behind the flame. So the flame at the front might be hotter, but the cigar itself isn't going to get hotter from that.
Do you do it?
I do it
to purge
all-
it
all
on
the time.
purpose, or just?
No, it's just instinctual. I just do it all the time.
That's so weird. That's so weird that you say that because I do that too.
So if you're smoking a cigar and you find that all of a sudden the flavors seem to just flatten out and get muted, and you purge it, it's like it comes roaring back. The flavors all come back even more intense than they were before. It's a great thing to do, and it rewards you immediately.
Yeah.
Some people like that. I never got it. Like some people love that when the cigar gets down to here. They're like it's just
Just
getting
getting
good. I'm
started,
like,
yeah.
"Whoa."
Well, that's the whole premise of the nub.
Yes.
They
Of
make it
course,
small.
That doesn't exactly work
No, it
the way
doesn't.
the
No,
premise says.
I know, it doesn't.
I mean, yes, the last 3 inches of a cigar are often the best, but a
Yes.
lot of that has to do with the 3 inches that
You
came
came
before.
before it, right? Exactly.
Not to me. I always like the first third of a cigar best. That's my favorite part.
I like the
I
last
usually
third.
like the first half of the cigar, the best.
Maybe it's because I get bored.
Could be.
If you
That's why
go,
I
That could
almost
be-
only
if you
smoke
go in a
Toro.
cigar factory, the workers who typically smoke cigars never smoke a whole cigar. they just don't. They light up a cigar, they'll smoke a few inches, they'll put it down, they'll do some more work, and they'll light another cigar. And it used to make me crazy when I was working on new blends, and the workers would be smoking it, but they never got to experience what it really was because they only smoked like half.
Yeah, we're still doing our first impressions.
Oh, yeah. Moose is done. Get it, Paul.
Paul?
My first impression is sweet earth, barnyard, and like you said, there's a hint of wine that just comes in and out, and I really like it. Mm-hmm. I think it's an excellent
I
smoke.
agree. I got that touch of cinnamon, Moose said, but I get a very strong roast coffee and a little bit of the finish of licorice, black licorice.
Yeah.
Whenever I say licorice, I'm thinking black licorice. Strength is that 2.5. Mm-hmm. And here's this is another great example of a cigar being super dark, but not being strong. At
Right.
all.
Exactly.
So I like to say when I'm talking about cigars to customers in the humidor, rule of thumb is the darker the cigar, the stronger the cigar.
Right.
But it's not a hard and fast rule.
But it has nothing to do with
There's
the
nothing
wrapper.
to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing. It's just that type of wrapper goes better with stronger, more nicotine
In the filler.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely getting a very distinct milk chocolate through the retrohale.
Yes. In the,
You get
only
it
in the
only in the retrohale, not anywhere, not in my mouth. The mouthfeel.
Usually
Usually
retrohales are a little bit more spicy than the regular flavor. In this case, it's creamier and more chocolate.
Yes,
than
absolutely.
the smoke direct.
But it's very milk chocolatey. It's not.
Not
It's not a
dark
cocoa,
chocolate,
it's like- yeah,
no,
nothing
It's not
like that.
bittersweet. No.
Right.
Milk
It's
chocolate.
very creamy.
So I'm getting maybe a touch of that, almost like a chocolate milkshake, but
Yeah.
not as intense as for me.
It's like Nestle's Quick or something.
I don't think he's that quick. He might be fast, but side to side, no good.
I smoke this cigar all the time. Like I said, I have a bunch of them in my humidor. So
Well,
And when I walk my
I'm going
dog-
to be smoking more of them because I forgot how good it is.
yeah, I enjoy this most of the time when I walk my dog at night, so I can just relax and just walk the dog and enjoy the cigar. Listen to the Phillies game. It's because it's just so good. Do you remember the original version of this? It was just called the Habano. It wasn't the bourbon barrel aged. They didn't age it in the bourbon barrels. It was just called the Habano.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. And then they came out with this, which is
Steps better.
steps better. Because holy crap, there is a line on
There
there.
is a blue line.
There's a blue line on there. Holy crap.
And the reason for this?
It means they tested it.
Means it
Yep.
was draw tested.
Yeah.
Because they have the mold, and after they draw test it, they put it back in the mold, and then they just, and so the roller knows that it's been tested. If it's not there, you won't
I
do
thought
it.
you were just funning us.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not gonna ruin this
I would have
cigar
smoked it.
How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know I didn't have a blue pen in my pocket and just did that?
because I was watching it.
Yeah, okay.
And people on Instagram and
I never showed you- I
Facebook.
never
did
showed
it
you this before?
No.
He did it before
we
the
talked
show,
about it?
and then he re-rolled the cigar.
See, blue line. I don't know if it's always blue, or maybe I'm just getting the same roller or the same tester. But I saw red pens when we were there.
Did you?
So at Perdomo, there is a person there are testers.
Well, I'm sure the
separate
quality
from the
control-
rollers and bunchers.
Yeah, they test every cigar.
Well, in my factory, we tested every cigar, but we didn't have a person that was the tester. The roller had to bring each mold up to the front. We kept the machine, the Drawmaster, in the
I remember you saying
in the
that.
front of the rolling gallery.
Yeah.
So each roller, when they finished a mold full, had to bring them up and test all of them in front of everybody else.
Yeah.
So they would get massive abuse if they had too many failures. And
So you shamed them.
well, it was actually a very good technique because
Yeah.
it's so objective when you're using the machine. It's not a judgment call.
Right.
It's either the right number or it's not.
Right.
And people would rise to the level of the machine because they knew they would get abuse otherwise.
Right. All right. We gotta go. Moose, let's give final impressions here.
9.2.
Okay.
Paul?
That's it?
I thought he was going to say.
I thought you might say something else.
Yeah, we've hammered the flavors, and I'll just give him what I thought.
You're right.
Okay.
We have hammered the flavors. I really, really like this cigar. There is not a single thing I would say I would want to be different than it is. I give it a 9.5.
Very nice.
It actually, I took the
What,
wrapper
you
off.
thinking natural? You got a
Yeah,
Connecticut?
I took the wrapper off, and it's not as sweet. And actually, oddly enough, it seems a little bit spicier. Maybe that's because it's the sweetness is gone.
Yeah, I think without the sweetness of a Maduro wrapper, the other spices and flavors come through
Yeah.
a little more.
The only thing I would change about this is I wish that line was red. Again, this is a 9.25. That's a pretty strong rating coming from me.
From you, yeah. As for me, this is one of my go-to cigars. I like the Connecticut also. Like if I'm in a Connecticut mood, I smoke the exact same thing because it's pretty much the same blend except for the wrapper.
So it,
And I
it
love
doesn't
them
have
both.
the chocolate or the sweetness,
Right.
but it's got its own
the,
stuff.
Right. It's got the more peppery taste like you're getting without the Maduro wrapper on it. We have.
Give your rating.
Okay. My rating is a 9.75.
Whoa!
I love this
Baby.
cigar. Seriously. I can't smoke this enough. We have a customer who buys 6 every day. He comes in 4 times a week and he buys 6 of them every time he comes in.
Does it come in on Thursdays?
No, not Thursdays, but he comes in Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and I think Saturdays. So
Guess he likes the cigar.
he loves this cigar.
So one of the reasons we wanted to smoke this is, or review it, is as we often do, is when we have an event with a company coming up, we'll rate their cigar. So, so this next Thursday, the 13th, in Lancaster, in Downingtown, we're doing a Perdomo event from 3 to 7. And the following Thursday, on the 20th, we're doing one in Horsham from 3 to 7. So that's specifically Perdomo. Other events are also on the 13th in Lancaster as general from 1 to 5. And next Thursday is the Phillies promotion in Westchester with EPC.
Very
Ernesto
cool.
Perez Carrillo and
Yeah.
Super Agent Joe Moscow.
Yes, they're
And-
changing the name of the company. But anyway.
And if you come to any of the Perdomo events at our stores, you'll get to meet one of the longest running cigar reps in the industry.
That's exactly right, Joe
And now that
Winder.
Dan's gone.
Yeah, Joe Winder. All right, thanks for watching. Don't forget our,
Welcome if you got
our
it.
outlet show
Life's
coming up
too
next.
short to smoke
Ciao
cheap
for now,
cigars.
everybody.